So we had some audio issues in the next couple of episodes. We figured out the problem and fixed it, but just bear with us. The audio isn't as clean as I'd like it to be, but enjoy. The Dirty 20 Podcast.
I'm Megan. I am Victoria Darroch.
My name is John. I am Brody Quint.
My name's Aaron Gustavius Gregorin.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I am Rael Hakun.
And my name is Casey. I will be the Dungeon Master. So, with that in mind, let's do our pop quiz. Today...
Raise hands.
What's that?
Raise hands, buzz in.
Raise hands. Yep. Right. If I need to, at some point, I'll get a bunch of, taboo buzzers for you guys.
Well, I was like, yeah, do you want the vocal part to be on the...
I'll say who got their hand up first.
Okay.
So people will know. Okay, I'm actually, because I'm going to give out two today. Very exciting. I have two questions for you. Number one.
I have to.
What was the amount of gold you would receive for your bounty?
300.
I'm going to give that one to John.
That was 3,000.
3,000 gold. That is correct. All right. Take a D4. Yeah, they were on it. They were on it. All right.
Honestly, I was waiting for the question to be done.
Even if you didn't know
I
the
think
answer.
I know what he's asking.
All right. So, with that, the second question I have for you guys is, what was the name of the dwarf that you managed to offend right as you came into the orphanage?
Oh, the guard.
Lorna.
No.
Kevin.
I didn't care for his name. I didn't care about him, so I didn't write his name down.
I didn't write his name down either.
I should say, I, as in Hakun, didn't care for him, so Hakun didn't think to write it down.
All right, so am I getting it that nobody had his name down?
Hold on.
I'd say if anyone did, Megan did.
Yeah,
But
I didn't write down his name.
All right. His name was...
Wait.
you'd formed your mouth.
No, I don't have it.
All right. His name was Galorn.
Okay. I even wrote down a parentheses name question mark. So I don't know that it was very obvious, so...
Actually, funny enough, I'm actually wondering if we're going to, listen back to this one, and it'll turn out that I never actually said his name. But he did have a name, so...
I will murder you if that turns out to be the case.
I still gave out my D4. I did my job. All right.
Wait, who got the D4? What?
John,
No one.
you got a D4
Oh.
for the first question.
For the second question, no one got a D4.
All right. So, if I remember right, you guys had split up, sending an elvish person with each group of two. You are, in fact, joined by a couple of dwarf guards as well, who come in from outside to help you patrol the area. So, with that, what's your plan?
Well, we split into the different corridors, so that I guess the plan is what you said it was before.
Just walking around, or are you going to post up somewhere, or...
Oh.
I don't know, I almost feel like we should try to hide ourselves in
I'm
beds.
gonna hide in plain sight.
Just sit in the middle of the
All right.
floor.
No,
Well, it
that's,
seems-
it's an ability that he has.
Yeah. I lean against the wall and shriek into the shadows.
I'm just sitting next to
I guess the Myconids haven't really cared who's around before, right?
As far as you know.
Although it might be weird that they've never seen us, I guess.
Well, I guess they've never done it when adults are around, just when the kids are.
No,
Well-
because the guards have been there, the
they've
adults
never
have
seen
been there.
Oh, because they were
'Cause they're
asleep.
asleep,
Okay,
yeah.
so here's what I'm thinking. If people do start falling asleep, I think the elves should fake like they're falling asleep just in case. Like, he's going to look around and make sure. So yeah, I'm going to try to just take in the same area as guys, take a different vantage point so we can kind of see as much of the area as possible.
So you said you're hiding? All right, go ahead and roll me a stealth check. I think, does hide in plain sight give you advantage?
Probably.
I would laugh if they didn't even come tonight and we're like...
I know. Overthinking everything.
Yeah, you're doing that against the wall.
It's entirely possible because, like,
They don't come every night.
most nights they don't come.
Oh, no, there we go. Oh, wait. No, that must be a different thing. It must be for your elf ability, because you don't get Ranger hiding plain sight until 10.
Let me look around. I read something.
No, I think it's for being a wood elf. You get a thing.
What elf?
Mask of the Wild. Yeah. So you do have to use some sort of natural elements in your hiding. I would like to know you're using the stone, and how are you blending yourself into the stone? Are you're Ramboing it?
He's putting
Like, are
his
you putting,
fingers
like, dust
over his
and
face.
dirt? I'm helping you out here.
You know, I can
He's
help.
an idiot.
I've got some makeup.
What's your intelligence?
In my
12. Solid 12.
Wow, you should be smarter than that.
God, yeah, your intelligence is higher than mine.
Yes, so I will allow you, basically what it allows you to do, it doesn't give you advantage, it just allows you to roll a stealth check, even though really what you're doing is standing against a wall, and that's not stealthy. So, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Maybe if I was
Do you want me to spiderweb you to the ceiling?
19.
Nice.
Stealthy.
Very stealthy,
Do you have
very
a plus
stealthy.
on your stealth? You have a plus on your stealth.
Stealth. That's 25.
Wow.
I'm invisible.
Right in the middle.
Pretty damn close.
Gus?
All right, man. So, cool. So you guys are walking around. It's dark. It's got that creepy feeling to it that, like, if you've ever been at a church at night, that like weird oppressive feeling, like things aren't quite right. It's kind of like that, because this should be a very happy place for children and things, but you know you're there for a dark or sad purpose. And with the lights out and with the silence that's pervading these halls, it's getting a little bit uncomfortable.
I think you just realized
Why is that?
it says light phenomena.
Yeah, it says you can attempt to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Is the beginning of that, which is that's the stealth check. You attempted to hide.
I don't think it worked.
Guess you'll find out.
Even though I rolled a 25.
I guess we'll find out. All right. So 1 hour goes by. Nothing. The second hour goes by. Now, did you each take like a dwarf guard with you?
That's what had been said at the beginning, so I
I imagine
imagine
they
so.
would
Okay.
let us.
Nope. That's
That's
what I was.
There's no way in hell I would have taken whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
Galorn?
Galorn.
No.
All right. So Galorn is with you guys.
By default.
And as we're getting into almost I'd say we're looking at probably about 1, 2 in the morning. Nothing's really happened. It's been quiet. Then some weird things start to happen. Well, for starters, I need Brody
Oh, that's right.
and Hakoria to go ahead and roll me a. Sorry, I gotta look it up.
The suspense is
He won't. He won't blink.
He's twitching.
Ugh.
Let him roll for
Okay,
crying out loud.
go ahead and roll me. Sorry, I had to find where I put because I made these
I'm getting
creatures.
scared.
Go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Nice job.
Fuck yeah.
2.
12.
Yeah, so, Hakoria, you feel your eyes start to droop a little bit. They're getting heavy, but luckily, you're used to some late nights having to study and things like that, and so you're able to power through it. Brody, you just feel the lids fall, and you just can't keep yourself awake. It's been too late and too long. You've had a long few days, and all of a sudden you find yourself leaning against some very comfortable stonework. And out. Roll me a perception check. Actually, you three, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Everyone but Brody.
18.
18?
14.
14?
My passive is 16.
10.
Nice.
My passive is 11. 11.
All right. Gus and Hikoria. Gus, you notice that Brody is suddenly asleep. And also the guard isn't patrolling anymore. The dwarf guard that was with you. And looking around, you see him laid out on the ground, snoring, snoozing away. Hikoria, you noticed, not only did you start to feel a little bit slumbersome, that's a word, but you also noticed that your guard is suddenly leaned up in a corner looking very content and tired.
So first thing I'll do is wake him.
Okay. How are you going to attempt to wake him?
Shake him.
Okay. Yeah, you start to shake Brody. Doesn't seem to be having any effect.
Then go first.
Would you like to slap him?
John
Sure.
is not.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack. Oh, you do get advantage because he's asleep.
What's the 13?
13? Does that hit?
16.
16? No. Yeah, nothing. He continues to just snore away. So,
I get slapped in the face, and then he's going to reach up and, like, scratch my cheek.
yeah, it's kind of like you go to slap him, but at the last moment you're like, but it's Brody. I don't want to hurt him. And just kind of...
It's like, he's the squishiest one.
With my guard, can I use my druid craft to produce like a very delicate leaf, and then I go to tickle his nose?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so you do. You just sprout a leaf in your hand. You walk over and you start to tickle his nose, and in his sleep he starts to like... but he's still out.
Still out.
Dang it.
Yeah,
I'd be really
we
impressed.
need to be
I saw
on
it.
alert though, rather than messing if we leave Brody. Check the children. That
It's your call.
we get stolen. 'Cause that's what's
Go ahead and roll me again a... let's go with a perception check.
Ooh.
Who's on... I'm sorry, which one of you... I should have had this down. Which one of you guys is on the lower level? Which one of you guys is on the upper level? Which group is
We
where?
just said we were splitting corridors, but I don't know that we decided that specifically. So
roll for it.
nice.
All right. Brody and Gus, you guys are on the lower level. So what did you get for your perception check?
9.
Okay. Even with a +0, they still beat that. So yeah, you're not really... You're on alert. You're looking around, but nothing yet. What are you going to do?
There's more than one room, right? Like 6 kids per room.
Yep, there are multiple rooms on each
So
corridor.
I think, obviously, so Jack need 2 rooms.
I'm gonna assume that we'd start doing that as well.
Well, yeah, and what I mean, I know what they look like, and they don't have like any weird ability that makes them anything, or do they? Do I know that?
Roll a nature check.
Nature check. Nature. 8.
You know, I will say this, you know that these clearly aren't normal Myconid.
Okay.
So,
In the sense that they're stealing children?
in the sense that they're stealing children, in the sense that they don't seem to be acting like... Normally they want to just stay in their groves
Oh, okay.
and things, and so they're clearly not normal Myconid.
Okay, so I guess, yeah, we're scanning
I think
Okay.
they're
as much as possible.
All right, and so then I will just go
And I'm
ahead and
gonna
say
keep the
these
doors
are
open.
large creatures.
Yeah.
They are not attempting to be stealthy.
Okay.
So all of a sudden you do start to hear a thump.
Who's
On-
you?
Yeah.
Sorry, that would be Gus, actually, at this point, just Gus. You
So
hear a
we're
thump,
just
Get it.
We're alert, though.
thump. I mean, you don't see anything yet. Are you going towards the noise? Is that what you're...
Yes, and
Stealthily or bombing in there?
I think bomb. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you
Be
hear him.
impressive.
You hear the thumping coming from towards where you would guess the front door is, or where you know the front door is. Rounding the corner, you notice a number of guards out cold. Ilerna looks like she was trying to stay awake as well. Done. She's fallen asleep as well. And there, standing in the doorway, are 2 very large, mushroomy-looking men that are just walking forward, emitting sort of a soft yellow trickle of dust off of them.
I think I need to.
Okay, how do you do that? Okay,
Screams like a girl.
all right. You guys hear some screaming going on from downstairs.
All right, I assume I'm gonna charge down there.
Alright.
I think I just need to.
You notice, by the way, that when you scream or whatever, no reaction from the mushrooms. They just keep plodding along.
Now I'm debating if I should go downstairs too, or just in case they come upstairs. Although if we're downstairs, I will see them go upstairs.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if those
say
are
it
the
again.
only two.
Right, that's kind of the thing. So
They probably have to come.
that's what I was wondering. And then
They
yeah,
only take
so
one at a time, even though
so I should be able to come downstairs.
also
That's
weird.
that's been the pattern. Yeah.
That's been the pattern.
All right.
So
I'll go
I think
downstairs.
I think I need to shoot.
You
Go
don't
ahead
wanna see where
and
they're
we'll
going?
actually have everybody roll for initiative, except for Brody. I apologize.
What are you doing?
Oh, that's a
He's- He is
this
sleeping.
a natural one.
Although,
Oh.
actually, go ahead and roll your wisdom save again.
Wow, I guess you're going to.
I don't think we discussed what we would do when we saw them because
No.
I think we need to see where they're going. But we
Let him take over.
well, if we want to find the other children potentially alive.
Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going into my combat tracker.
But you're Gus, so do
Alright,
what you
Gus,
do.
what'd you get? 16. Brody. 10.
You told me to roll initiative.
Oh, wisdom! Yeah, nope, you're still asleep. But, go ahead and roll me initiative anyway.
Just
And then, because you get to save on it, like, you'll roll every time it comes around your turn to see if you're safe.
17.
17, alright.
Can I use that on my save?
Yes, you could have.
Oh wait, do I get a? Is there a bonus on that? Oh, plus 3.
Nice. 20.
Dirty 20. It
30.
Ah! Wait, with your save one.
was 10. I rolled a 9. And I just
John's on the board first for the dirty 20.
Nice.
Once I wake up.
11.
Alright.
So do I get a wisdom save once per round? then?
Yep. I will allow you a wisdom save once per round. You've already made 1, so that means 9 more rounds for sure you wake up. So
Oh, so if I'm down for 10 rounds, I'm down.
no. If you're down for 10 rounds, you'll eventually wake up. I'm saying
Okay.
it lasts for 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. Hakun,
my number's so high it might break your tracker.
I don't believe that, but go ahead.
1.
Nice.
So high it went all the way back around.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly it.
Wait, do you not have any initiative bonus?
You should. It's
Oh,
your
so
dex.
3.
3. All right.
Whopping.
Nice. All right. So first up is actually Brody. So Brody, go ahead and roll your wisdom save.
Okay. Good. Land in the tower. Oh, 6.
Yep. Nope. Brody continues to snooze the sleep of baby.
While sleeping, I casually reached in my pocket and pulled my dice out, and I'm like shaking them in my sleep.
All right. Gus, you're up.
So, how are they to
I mean, they're not near the rooms yet. They're in the entrance hall. So, but they're walking towards the rooms clearly.
shoot?
Okay.
Shoot.
Go ahead.
I was supposed to say we.
Roll
No
your
one's gonna do
attack.
Yet.
Let's do that. Jackson got this at school.
That's so cool. I like it.
24.
24, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll me damage.
11.
11 points of damage, alright. Are you shooting again? Yes, you should. You get 2 attacks now, level 5.
Can confirm, at least we talked about it last time.
Miss. Well, let's go with a 10.
10 does in fact miss. So the first arrow you shoot out sinks in deep into, you think, flesh, but not really. I mean, it looks kind of odd. And the creature does give out sort of a it doesn't have a mouth, so you're not sure how the sounds are emitted, but suddenly you do hear a all right, which is going to bring us up to Hakoria.
So I'm still running, or like, I guess I would use my movement right now, so I could get there, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if I had gotten there or whatever. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going down the stairs.
Sounds good. Coming down the stairs are actually facing the entrance hall, so you can see, as you get to the bottom of it, you see there's Hakoon down at the bottom of the stairs. Gus has clearly just fired off a couple arrows. Okay, I'll let you do it this time. Throw on your hunter's mark. Not to damage, but you've got it cast for next one. Bonus action. Yep. All right. So you see Gus has clearly fired an arrow. There are 2 Myconid. You see they're large. They're what would be called a Myconid sovereign, which is odd to see 2 of them together. So one of them has an arrow sticking out of it, and they are both lumbering towards Gus. What are you doing?
I heard the moment that weird noise thing.
Oh yeah, you did, and you see the arrow sticking out of one, so it's fairly clear what happened.
Okay, I am an idiot and I don't have a ton of combat stuff. Oh, I guess I could turn into an animal. I don't know. Ugh, I'm not ready. I'll just try, my flame blade.
Okay.
So, bonus to, produce the flame blade.
Alright, sounds good.
And then am I close enough to attack, actually?
With my
movement?
You would need to use your movement to get up to the creature.
Right.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'd say it's probably about 60 feet away. So, you could dash and get up to it, but you wouldn't have an action.
Okay, never mind, I don't do any of that.
Okay.
I was confused.
That's fine.
So, I don't know, I don't really know anything about the situation, so I have a hard time just barreling in and
That's fine.
killing things.
Do you want to hold your action, or...?
I don't know what I would hold is the only thing.
Okay, you can also pass. That's fine.
think I'm just going to try and comprehend what's happening.
Okay, sure. Actually, yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Or perception or investigation, whichever one.
16.
16, yeah, with a 16, taking your action to try and notice whatever, you do see that both Myconid seem to have a weird purplish growth coming off the back, like off the left side of their head. So,
Purplish growth. Okay.
it seems to be pulsing a little bit. It's odd, but that's not normal. So, all right. Next up. Sorry, I went away from my combat tracker. Next up, we have...
Can I, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I, as a free action, just, yell out, I guess, something about the blob?
You certainly can. Go ahead.
Aim for the blob! On their head!
Aim for the blob on their head, she says. All right.
I did it.
All right. So, that is up for... It is now the Myconid's turn. The one... that you did not shoot is actually going to go ahead and just move up, and then will actually use its action to move again, and gets up to you, but appears to just be walking past you. Is not engaging with you. Just kind of what's going on?
It's on a mission.
The one that you attacked is going to move 30 feet towards you, and then... I need you to go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Natural 20.
Wow, yep, okay.
So is that just Constitution?
So up
Look
towards...
up top here, there's saving throws.
Oh, got it.
And it tells you what your pluses are.
Got it. 21.
Nice.
With a natural 20, that beats it.
Yeah, so you do... You save, and it walks up to you or towards you and seems to emit this cloud of spores towards you. Not the same color as the ones that it was emitting earlier. And you breathe it in, and it feels just noxious in your lungs, but after clearing them out, you seem to resist whatever effect the Myconid was attempting. Yeah, so go ahead and now that will be the Myconid's turn. That was not very much for them, so good times. All right. So next up is Hakoon.
I fall in line behind him. I just follow him.
You're going to follow the one? Okay, so, he's still in front of you. He hasn't made it up to you yet, so I'm guessing, are you just waiting since he seems to be coming your direction?
Yeah. Not the one that, was blowing spores at him, but the other one.
Yep, all right, sounds good. That's going to bring us around to Brody. Go ahead and make your save.
11.
Nothing. So, Brody continues, gives out a little just sleep gas, rolls over.
We already have too much gas in here.
All right,
My
Gus,
own way of
you are
fighting
back
back.
up.
Okay. Double arrows to the
Wow.
purple sport and area.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an attack. You're specifically targeting the lump.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll direct my arrows that direction.
Sounds good.
3 and 16.
Both hit, actually. The first one sinks just straight in deep. You again hear that same kind of the other one just kind of grazes by and cuts a little shallow slash in the Myconid's form. So go ahead and roll me some damage on those.
Are these regular
Okay, so-
arrows or plus one?
+1 arrows.
Okay.
With the hunter's mark.
So you get to roll a d6 on each of those, yep.
And an extra d8 attack.
That's correct, yeah.
So we go with
I think on the first attack you can add a d8.
11, 14.
Okay.
Plus 21.
Ooh.
The first one. The second
That's
one,
nasty.
12.
Okay.
30.
Nice
Jesus,
job,
Blob.
nice job. He's still up.
How does the blob look?
How's the blob look? The blob looks tattered, but it's still sitting there, just kind of pulsing away.
So that's 33. How much did I do the first round?
Anyways, next up, we've got Hakoria.
So if I use my movement this time, I can make one
Yes,
of
you
the,
should be
okay.
able to make it up to him now.
So I do actually want to use my flame blade, and I want to attempt to sever the blob.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
I will.
The same one that Gus is out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one's
Would you roll?
An 11.
This does not hit, unfortunately. You whip out this large flaming sword that seems to come out of nowhere, magical, and swing it down, but you're not really kind of familiar with swords that much yet, so
Yeah,
you just kind of.
but I look
Fire.
super cool.
It looks wicked. Yeah, okay. So next up we have, it is the Myconid's turn. So the one you guys have been attacking, noticing, Euphoria, that you have attempted to usurp.
one.
Perfect. That you have attempted to swing at it with your flaming sword. It's going to whip around and attempt to smoke you right in the face with a big mushroomy fist.
Gross.
Yeah,
It's gonna mushroom stamp me.
it's going to mushroom stamp you.
Oh.
So.
It just feels so personal. Get a portobello mushroom to slap you with it,
So that's going to be a 16 to hit.
Well, yes, it does.
All right. So that's going to...
Now I get self-drunk so you're rolling. It's
Just don't do it under the table.
this is
That is 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, that's a lot for me. Cool. Love
All right,
it.
And then is going to go ahead and... Oh, I didn't... Ooh, that's not done. There's more to it.
I don't think that's true.
From what I know about my
And that's going to be 5 points
Wait.
of poison damage.
Doesn't my hunter's mark work on both heroes?
Dude,
No.
you have to do it at the
But yeah, you have to add it. This is the last time I'm going to let you do that. If you miss it next time, you just miss it. All right. So 5 points of poison damage, and then I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. As it emits a dusting of spores all over you.
Got a natural one.
So this same kind of spores that it seemed to kind of blow towards Gus earlier
Mhm.
and just fill through your nostrils and into your lungs, and all of a sudden there's all these hazy shapes that start to come out of the walls. You see your parents there. Your father standing there shaking his head with his arms crossed at you and just starts to say, Corey, I'm so disappointed in you, running off all around, doing all this and that. This is not what you were bred for.
I love my foghorn leghorn dad.
Yep.
She's on a mushroom trip.
And it's
you
real bad, guys.
You are considered incapacitated.
Okay. What? Remind me what all that does.
An incapacitated creature cannot take actions or reactions.
Okay. That
So.
sounds cool.
All right, and that is going to bring us up to one Hakoon.
Cool. Is the other one making a move? Like, is he like?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, the other Myconid continues his trek down. He turns and starts heading down the first level corridor towards the rooms.
Okay. The one that has been attacking these three idiots who, oh, not you, these two idiots who attacked it, is he continuing his attack on,
To be fair, I'm not being
her?
He seems to still be hostile.
I think the party might turn on a coon at
And
some
how's he
point.
looking?
He
Say it
doesn't
out
look
loud.
great. He's got a number of slashes, arrows in him,
He's looking good?
but he's still up, but he's not looking great.
Okay. And you're still okay? He's looking okay? She's down.
I continue to follow the other Myconid.
Okay, that's going to bring us up to Brody.
Motherfucker, come
I'm sorry.
on. God damn it! 3.
That's what you
That definitely does not save. All right, coming around to Gus.
Shoot him with 2 arrows
Okay.
In the blob?
in the book.
to the blob.
The fucking blob.
14 and a 24.
Okay, first one misses, second one hits.
15 plus 7.
32.
Math.
All right. He's looking very rough, but still up.
The
All
blob
right.
is still going.
Yep. The blob is still just seems to be pulsating. Now that you're closer, well, you can't because you're seeing tons of crazy shit just off in your own world. But looking at it and having shot at it, you can see it's almost emitting a weird light to it, weird purplish light. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's going to the arrow sinks in once again. There's just this. At this point, there's not even a gasp or a bellow let out from the mic in it. He just seems to be kind of. If he had like normal eyes, you imagine they'd be dilating funkily and crossing and such.
Or fungally.
All right, that's going to bring us up to Hakoria. Go ahead and roll me another
really?
Constitution saving throw.
No.
All right.
Just no. Just no.
It's a 4. So you said I can't take an action or a reaction. Can I move though?
Yeah, there's nothing that
Okay.
says you can't. So
I just imagine that I'm like moving around very oddly, just like trying to make sense of my world
yeah.
now.
Do you want to say anything to your father?
What did he said? He was disappointed in me?
Yeah, that this is not what you were bred for.
I guess I would. Dad, can you clarify your meaning? Because you're very vague. And I would
You guys see Hakoria just kind of like stumbling towards a wall and starts having a conversation with it.
What wasn't I bred for? Very confused.
All right.
But I'd like to do you proud.
It's going to bring us up to the Myconids. Noticing that you are clearly no longer a threat, and having just been shot with a number of arrows, the Myconid is going to take another movement up towards Yusa and going to make some attacks.
Not even worried. Bring it.
Just so you know, I
Luckily, that was a natural 1.
Yep.
used my movement on my turn to roll over.
Nice. So he swings right by you and just boofs it into the wall and actually looks like he might have hurt his...
Yeah, I don't remember if I had one. I was looking at that. I might have another character.
I had no idea. That's
I have more than one.
all right.
So I think I have an
What do you need?
You're like half
my other characters.
plus. I was
You
hoping
get
to
it?
borrow some of your sensible socks.
Ah,
also like some sensitive socks.
All right, we're going to see if the second fist hits while you're going to get sensible socks. Oh, sorry.
You see, I can go.
Oh, good.
I have no function right now.
And that was a natural 2. So, no, both fists just... Oof, oof. He's pretty out of it at this point. He's been damaged
Does
a
he
lot.
emit his spores?
He does not. Because he gets to make 2 attacks, either a fist or a spore. So, since he tried.
I think you're up.
Yes, Hakun is going to be up. But are you continuing to just follow the other Myconid?
Is he still just walking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, he has made it to one of the doors to the children's rooms, and he opens it up. Yeah. Opens it and walks in, kind of crouching low underneath. They're a good 7-8 feet tall, so he has to crouch down through the door. Yeah, okay, that's going to bring us back around to Brody.
Natural 1! God
my
damn it!
I'm sorry, man. You just get boned by this all the time. All right, that's going to bring us up to Gus.
I've been playing that long, but I've never had a string of numbers this low.
Natural 20 and a 20.
So you have to roll...
Critted.
Well, you have to roll at disadvantage
Oh.
if you're shooting with your arrow. Or like if you're shooting with your bow, because he's in melee range with you right now.
Okay, 7.
Okay, that'll hit for sure. And then you can roll 2 more times for your second attack and take the lower. That was your low? 17? Wow, okay. Nice job, nice rolling. Okay, both hit. Go ahead and roll your damage for the first one.
Don't forget 100 mark.
15.
All right, with that, you sink the arrow deep into that like pustule that's there, and it actually seems to pop through both sides. And where you would have expected to see some kind of like blood or fluid or something, instead, a faint wisp of purple smoke flows out from the hole, and you just hear a child's voice suddenly emit. It just says, "Mama, Mama," and then the Myconid collapses to the ground.
Well, I didn't hear that.
Nope. Only Gus overheard that, so. All right. Hakoria. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're incapacitated. You wouldn't have noticed that. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. Hakoria, go ahead and roll me another Constitution saving throw.
8.
Nope. You are continuing. You are just continuing to trip balls.
Did Dad ever explain to me what I'm not ready for?
Yeah, no, he's like, you will come from a good family, a good, nice dragonborn family, and you're off gallivanting in the Underdark. This is not what we were made for.
I say.
I said.
You're doing it all wrong, boy.
So, she will tell you I was experimenting with her father's voice like months ago, and I decided on Foghorn Leghorn, so I'm glad that carried through.
I like that idea of her being, or of him calling her boy.
Still.
All right, are we, just so I can take the temperature of the room, are we going to attack the last Myconid?
I don't.
Well, I'm not, obviously.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say that we're just out of initiative for right now, so that we can just kind of keep going with the story.
I'm sure Gus doesn't want to kill something.
Yeah. Whoa. But my initial thought was we need proof of what's going on, so now we have proof.
Well,
Something that is satisfying to wake up.
so
He's not-
And then now, as long as he's not attacking, I think I'll just in the face.
okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
Hold on, before you do that.
18.
That'll hit.
That's, plus the initial 22.
Yep. Go ahead and roll me damage unarmed strike. That's going to be 1d4.
So, I was going to say, because you said after a minute I'd
Plus-
wake up.
It's getting
It's going to
close.
be close to a minute.
3.
And then it's plus your strength. I don't know.
5.
So 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and you do wake up. In fact, all of a sudden, this ringing pain in the side of your head as Gus's boot just connected. So yes. So as you are contemplating this, and as you're waking up Gus, you do see the Myconid emerge once again, ducking down through, and is cradling a child as he begins to just lumber.
You know which child?
back out. This you've seen him around during playtime and things like that, but this is not a child that you met one, just the elf girl. Yep.
And I'm still tripping balls.
Go ahead and roll me one more Constitution saving throw.
How close are we to that?
He has to come back up. So
yeah. What was it?
All I need is a little pessimism. I got a 19.
That will do it, yeah. So you do shake it off, and you realize, you're like, okay, there's no way my father was just here in the hallway scolding me.
I do feel like guilty inside a little bit.
All right.
I'll have him.
So, yeah, you notice, again, the Myconid just kind of...
So can we try and grab the child?
You certainly can. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check. Just see if you can pull it from the Myconid's grasp.
I'm not an athletics check.
Well, you said it.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I mean, since I'm following him, I feel like I would try to grab him.
Okay, you can roll me an athletics check as well.
Yeah, 16.
17.
You guys, the two of you, both managed to grab the child and, like, wrench it away from Myconid, who then leans right down into your face and begins to bellow while reaching back for the child again.
Can you bellow for me?
Like that.
I laugh and it's... No, I'm just kidding. Alright. Well, I mean, is it, like...
See, the thing is,
Yep, you see that it is becoming hostile.
Okay, so should I give the child back and then we see where it goes?
You've got about 6 seconds to decide what you're doing.
Question.
Yes.
Is this now back out where we are? Or are
Yeah.
they in the other room?
Nope, you are. This is out in the hallway where all you guys are.
Okay, I'm gonna like this child just back, but I'm not gonna let go, but I'm just gonna let it back.
Okay. So he wraps the child up in his arms again, and like you're kind of holding on to a foot that's dangling out, and he begins to just lumber again back towards the front door.
Can I like hop on his back?
Roll me a grapple check? I mean,
What is that, athletic strength?
yeah, you're like a large dragonborn, so I don't...
Isn't he large?
He is, but he's also like a fungus. I don't know how this works.
Well, someone else could
Well,
attach to
can
him.
you-
The biology behind Mike and did piggyback
If the
rides.
hunters marks him, puts his hunter's mark on her, can we follow him that way?
It'll definitely give you advantage on that. What'd you get?
I got a natural 20, bitch.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to roll a strength check to see if he can carry your ass.
Bitch.
And I'm going to, as I see this, I'm going to run over and try to get ready to catch the baby if this guy crumples.
It's not a baby, Lily. I mean,
Okay.
it's like a child.
Yeah,
Okay,
so let it
okay,
die.
so-
Just let it die.
Well, like a 4-year-old might hit the ground and be okay. Like an infant, yeah. Natural one.
The Myconid crumples to the ground underneath the weight of the large brass bronze.
Brass.
Dragonborn that just jumped on its back. It begins to, again, bellow and struggle, trying to wrestle you.
How does the child look?
The child, you imagine, is probably not looking too good. You can't really see much of it underneath.
Go forward?
Yeah!
I'm sorry, I'm petite.
Alright, I'm gonna try to run up and try to free the child.
Okay, roll me a strength check. God, this is not how I thought this was going to go.
Okay, this is cocked.
Yeah, it is.
See, they're under control. So
Yeah.
all we're gonna do
13.
is they're gonna go back to wherever.
Would you roll?
That's why I was like...
You managed to at least...
I think
You don't quite get the child
They have to
away,
take
Yeah,
the
but
but you
child,
managed to roll
otherwise-
the Myconid and Hakoria over enough that the child can breathe now.
I just want to say, I'm strong enough to move creatures larger than myself.
All right.
Wait,
and
what
Not
happened?
one.
So
She managed to push you basically over to the side so the Myconid, so the child could breathe at least.
all right, I think we should follow him with the child.
I guess I'm not as small as I thought I was.
Yeah, I think we as stealthily as possible in case there are
Well, I don't
things that can think that are like.
He's not stealthy unless whatever else.
Well, I'm
He's
just thinking as he goes back, there might be whatever's controlling him waiting for him, and if he just sees us walking up, like so I'd say try to follow him stealthily if we can.
I vote we let him get a bit away. Once you have an idea of where he's going, encounter whatever.
Is he like...
No, he's a fungus.
Okay, well, okay.
Can I show you a picture?
Yeah, come on.
I just still imagine him as Toad, and then he has like a vest on or something.
Vest, puffy pants,
Yeah.
and
Or
dressed
like
like
a
Aladdin.
Yeah. So,
So I like the idea of following him, and if we
that's the third time she said that, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't laugh.
First time, no one heard it. Second time, only Megan heard it.
Oh.
Third time, now you've all heard it.
I
And laughed at me.
believe Aaron said it on the last episode. I was cutting it last night. But anyway,
Beach to it. I think I'm gonna turn into a rat.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to like. It looks like they have like little holes in them where I can just like burrow in.
Okay. They do have some holes in them. You know that's where the spores were spraying from.
Like the psychedelic ones.
All of them.
if like you got
Okay.
like put asleep and then like on beast form and they just explode.
I mean, that's one way to do it. Okay,
so,
never mind.
real quick, as
Well,
you
can I
guys are
climb?
deciding this,
Can I climb him?
yeah, that's fine. But as you guys are deciding this, the Myconid struggles to his feet, turns around with like his fist raised and like another bellow towards you, clutching the child close to him, and then seeing you guys are all just kind of standing there watching him and like standing back, lowers his arm and begins to just.
And I'm climbing. I'm
Just
trying to
give
climb
us
as a
the-
rat up him.
Yeah, that's fine. It's
Okay.
easy enough for a rat to
Like
climb
onto
up.
And I want to try to stealthily follow them at a decent distance. I mean, he's not too stealthy, but
You do notice, as you guys begin to exit and things like that, that the same yellow spores that you saw when they were first entering, that you saw when he was, or that you found in the children's bedroom and things like that, begin to flow out from him as well.
I take a big old deep breath before walking into that shit.
Yep. I mean, you can't really avoid it, regardless. It's everywhere. But you notice somehow it doesn't seem to be having any effect on you right now. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So, for brevity's sake, we'll say basically following him through the Tradewinds district, you guys notice that this seems to be a well-trod path, or at least it's not. It seems to know what it's doing, emitting plenty of spores all over the place. It seems like this is this happens. You guys are not interrupted by any guards, anyone, as it seems that the spores are highly effective on your average person. So, following it back, it reaches about almost to the border between the Tradewinds and Silkside. And there is a low one-story building that it seems to be making its way towards the front door.
Alright, let's kill it.
Well, so it's approaching a building. We want to do we want?
It's a question of, do we want to let him get in there with the child and try to, save all the children at once, or do we want to make sure, in case you're doing something fucked up with the kids, should we
Why
grab
did we
him
not
before?
check the other mic in it? It's just on the.
That is true. You literally just left a dead Myconid sitting in the middle of the
Oh my
orphanage.
god,
So-
we're idiots. Okay, can't do that. Can't do anything like that.
Check it for what?
I think at that point, wouldn't that be maybe julienning and or mincing?
Because they don't have any clothes, so you
Or
can't
like try to explain to anyone there, like, hey, there's gonna be
Well, I
a dead
figured
mushroom
that-
guy.
We'll be
Yeah.
back, but
And they'll understand, like, this guy ran away with the kids, so we left the dead one there. So I think we'll
All
be
right,
okay.
making its way towards the door, as you guys are starting to discuss this, it has now reached the door of the building. It doesn't seem to be reaching for the doorknob. Instead, raises the child up above its head. The child then blinks out.
Okay, I instantly turn back into my normal form
Mhm.
while I'm on his shoulder.
Okay.
I feel like he would
Yeah, no,
be unsuspecting of that.
He does not manage to keep his balance or anything like that, and he crumples underneath you and gives out kind of a.
Do I know? Do Myconids? They can't speak
so the
common.
child is going
Roll me a nature check. Yeah, the child is no longer there. Just disappeared.
Natural one.
Natural one?
So I know everything.
You're not You can't remember. Like, you definitely spent some time around them. You know that there's a group of Myconid that live in the Druid circle here.
Stupid spores in my brain.
But, yeah, you're having trouble recalling how you guys communicated with them. So,
Oh. Okay.
he doesn't seem to be struggling. He's just laying there underneath you.
But
He's not going to fight.
Doesn't seem to have any interest in fighting.
Can I
Is the
now?
purple?
The purple is still purple.
Can I
and
now
pulsing
attempt to
and
sever
glowing.
the? Oh,
Sure, how are you going to do that?
Oh.
That might be a good tie him up and then try to sever it. Fight back.
Well, I have a dagger.
Okay.
I mean, she'd be able to get.
I'm on top of him.
Yeah, I know.
I imagine we're all hurrying
Get
over.
ready to
Okay.
I'd say, Aaron, or Gus, do you want to hang back just a little bit so if something does surprise us, you're not in melee?
Fair enough. I love, by the way, the role-playing out what you're doing. All right. So Gus is preparing. Hikori, you're getting ready to slice off the growth. Is anybody else doing anything?
I'm moving towards the guy because I'm like preparing a break.
Okay.
As I hurry up there, I'm going to turn my back on him and try to keep an eye out just to make sure we don't get ambushed by anything.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
They all suck. I don't know which one. Much better. 18.
18. Yeah, nothing seems to be really looking at you right now. It's still the wee hours of the morning. It's quiet. Too late. Just kidding. All right. So go ahead, Hikoria, roll me an attack.
23.
Okay. Did you roll with advantage? He is technically prone. That's a melee attack.
23.
Okay. So yeah, that'll definitely hit. Just was hiding. Okay. Go ahead and roll me damage.
5.
All right. With that, he does begin to bellow and struggle and starts to like wrestle his way up. So we're just going to jump back into the same initiative we had prior. So Brody, what
Do
are
I
you doing?
slice it off successfully?
No,
All right,
it's tough. It is tough, thick. Not even flesh, but fibrous material.
Okay.
I'm going to take my rapier and slash at the purple thing.
Slash the purple thing. Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack with advantage.
12.
Well, okay, that does not hit.
Alright, my offhand attack, samesies. 18 should hit.
18 does hit. Yep, go ahead. Can I assume we're all, by the way, going to like be just basically curb stomping this poor fungus?
That's
Trying to
not my
sever,
intention.
Trying to sever
the purple thing.
I will let you know there's no way to cut off just the growth without also killing the myconid. So is
Okay,
the
but-
intention to kill the myconid.
We know that though?
You get the feeling that even though he was doing a lot of damage to that growth, it was really just doing damage to the creature, and it eventually died.
I wouldn't want to do lethal damage, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing you communicate that to the rest. Don't kill it.
I would imagine so.
Okay, for brevity's sake, because there's 4 of you on one myconid that's held to the ground right now under the weight of a dragonborn, we're going to assume that this goes pretty easily.
What are you saying?
I
for
got
you
4
guys.
points of damage, by the way.
Okay, yeah. Pretty easy to... You guys keep just hacking and stabbing at this lump, and it keeps...
Horrible. Ah!
Like, and eventually gets to the point where it's kind of... And then just passes out.
Wait, we...
She asked you guys not to kill her.
But,
Alright.
well,
I start trusting
Okay.
and put up on Corey.
I think we need to see where he wanted to go. Like, I don't think we should have got him all. Like, I didn't want to.
He's going in.
Well, he held the thing up and disappeared. I don't know if he was going inside this place. Yeah,
The thing.
the
The
thing.
thing, Fritz.
Okay. All right. So if we check this, I want to hold on to it. Well, like I said, if we go in here and there's nothing in there, we may need to see where he was actually going. So I almost feel like the way it disappeared like that, I don't know that it was something inside so much as this is just a place
Where the aliens came
portal,
in.
yeah, something like that. So yeah, I definitely don't want to keep the option open of following him later if need be. So yeah, if we tie him up and then check this place out, or
What are you guys doing? You have a trust up mic in.
I will.
we don't want to go in this place.
Okay.
I feel like we're here right now. We should check it out. If this child could possibly be saved.
What time are we done?
Yeah, it's like, at
Before
this
it
point,
gets-
probably about 3 in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, before it gets busy.
Okay.
And do we like get any magic? Is that something from Dallas?
Are any of you proficient with Arcana?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Whoever would like to make a check can make just a straight intelligence check.
I got an 18.
17.
Okay. The two of you know magic. You're the magic users in this group, and you even use arcane magic. So, going up towards the door where this Myconid made this offering of the child, you see some runes scratched in. And actually, this works out really well, because Hakoria, they seem to be in Draconic, which you would know is kind of the base language that most arcane magics use. So, looking them over, Hakoria, you knowing the language can tell this seems to be some sort of short-range teleportation or transportation spell.
Okay.
So the child was definitely relocated somewhere, and somewhere close by.
Can I scratch with my... Or is
Sure.
that not...
What are you trying to do? Scratch at them?
I want to, like...
Oh, the spell.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
Okay.
I mean, I guess there's really nothing you need to roll or anything. You scratch out some of the runes and things like that. You have no idea if that ended up canceling out the spell or
But
anything.
I feel better about it.
But you feel better about it.
We want to go inside.
Yeah.
Do anyway.
I think
You
so.
communicate this.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I mean, fair.
These runes seem to indicate some sort of telltale. And I think the child will be near. I just don't know.
All right.
You also don't know what near would mean.
Yeah. Well, can I check the door for traps?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
It only took us to get to level 5.
17.
Does not appear to be trapped.
All right, and I try to open it.
It is locked.
Figured.
It does not move.
Break down the door.
So,
I am not the person to do that.
what are you guys gonna do?
It is locked, and I don't.
Does it look like a residence? Like the residence of just some poor
It's
soul?
very plain looking. You're not getting much off it at all. It almost,
Is this
you
in
would
the
imagine
trade
it might even just be a small warehouse, is kind of what it looks like.
winds? Okay, and it's in the trade winds?
Yes, it's towards the edge of the trade winds.
How is the door locked? Like, is there like a giant padlock on the thing?
You can't really tell.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Please give me something, okay?
12. You kind of boom into the door. It seems you hear some splintering, but it seems to hold for now.
Any windows?
Well, I mean, you can definitely walk around the building.
Investigate quickly.
Okay. Walking around, you see no windows, no back entrances, nothing but stone walls.
We're going in.
Ooh, hold on. Ooh.
No, I can't. Okay. Never mind. Thought I had a spell.
By the way, I do just want to point out, you all currently suffer 1 point of exhaustion. So please mark that down on your sheets.
Been up
That
all
gives
night.
us...
Disadvantage on ability checks.
Does that include attack rolls?
No, I don't think I will.
What was that?
Does that include attack rolls?
It does not. That doesn't come until 3 points of exhaustion.
Is there a specific place to put that, or just?
I would just note it somewhere on your sheet. 1 point of exhaustion. Child is not an object.
The child's underwear.
Describe the name.
Yep, children are not objects.
Call it a thing.
Were they
Until
wearing
they get to a
something?
certain age,
What were they
I think-
wearing?
I think once
No,
Can you
there's
remember?
a different stall for that, and it's much higher level.
Can you remember what they're wearing?
His pajamas or her pajamas?
We don't even know if it was a guy or girl.
it was a guy. It was a boy, young boy. Roll me a history check, I guess. 17. Actually, not a dwarf. And you would know from your time in the orphanage, there weren't that many dwarf children for being in the dwarf district.
Because the dwarves,
They tend to be other races that were here. So this was actually a small elf boy.
What?
So, I'm sorry, not elf. My bad. My
I was
bad.
about to say,
Small human boy.
Okay.
There we go.
It's my son.
That was intentional. Just testing them.
Are certain traits.
Okay.
Okay, let's do a trace
Okay.
spell and
All right. Stealthily bashing in the door.
In the door.
because it gives us silence and shadows, masking.
Second.
Good call.
Okay, attempting that. Yep. Okay, so mark off your spell slot for that, and then I guess, all right, is everybody attempting to bash down the door, or
I'm not because I feel like
I hope not.
I feel very confident too because I've been released.
okay?
feel like
So
if
I
tried
would
to
say
bash down the
between
door,
the three of you, you can kick in a door. It takes all three of you to do it, but you manage to kick in the door.
No, I'm no help.
I guess roll me a stealth check to try and figure out how this would work out. I'm going to have you guys roll at disadvantage, but add the plus 10 for pass without a trace. So,
Oh, I didn't need disadvantage.
oh
My
yeah?
first roll was horrible.
me too.
No,
Why
you're fine. You
rolled a
weren't
9?
engaging in this. You rolled a 9, plus 10 is 19. 16. All right.
14.
14.
Did you add your plus 10?
Yes, that's
Okay, you guys, I mean, kicking in a door is loud. It's messy. But for some reason, as you kick in this door and, like, bustle through,
you still
the...
need to add dexterity, though.
Yeah, of course. You get to add your stealth check. Whatever's next to that. Oh! Yeah, I can't do triple disadvantage. Never mind. That would have been a disadvantage anyway, because it was an ability check and you guys are exhausted. So, okay. So, yeah, you guys kick in the door, but the noise sounds strangely muted almost. Coming into
A
this
little
room,
cough while they were kicking in.
Totally works.
Brody looking around, just seeing, did anybody notice this? Nobody seems to. As you guys get in, you enter into a long hallway. It stretches out to the left and right of you. There is thick dust, boxes, crates, heavy canvas. All of it seems to be under a layer of very thick dust.
Should we Scooby Doo?
2 C's easy. And seems to just be filled with junk.
Can we investigate?
Cool, John.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
At disadvantage?
All of this would be at disadvantage.
First thing I rolled was a natural 1. I don't know how to do
3.
3, nice.
13.
13. You actually, Brody, looking around, you notice a couple things really quick. Number one, the dust seems completely undisturbed. It doesn't look like it's been moved at all. Not even by you, just now rifling through everything. And by your friends, kicking up, should be moving this dust, leaving prints, something. Nothing.
You all notice that the dust isn't moving around.
Dust?
Oh my gosh, am I tripping out again? I'm freaking out.
Opening up the crates, they're all completely empty.
This is just one big room.
Well, it's a hallway.
Okay.
And looking down either side, you see a door on the right-hand side. So as you entered from the south facing north. This hallway extends east and west. On either end of the hallway, there are doors going north.
Right. Should we check the doors?
Can I also try and the dust, like, swipe my hand in it just
Yeah.
to see?
Nothing moves.
And do I feel
No,
it?
you do not.
That's weird.
It feels like just stone.
I wish I had dispel magic.
I have it, but I don't own this.
Well, let's check the doors then.
Good call.
Go right.
Right first.
Going right first. All right. So going to that door, it seems to be just a plain wooden door up against there. So
Check for traps.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
12.
Does not seem to be trapped.
Right, well, I've still slowly tried to open the door. I don't want to kick it down.
Okay. It seems to be giving way. The handle turns and it starts to open. Do you go through?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, motherfucker.
You were so
Well,
like,
at least it's not a fucking whisk again. Side note, I ended up putting the foam under my dice box.
Yeah.
Now my dice just keep jumping out.
Bounce. Yeah.
All right. First one is a 19.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to roll disadvantage on this.
Oh,
Yep, because it's a saving throw, not an ability check.
okay. A 19.
All right. Yeah, with a 19, you luckily are able to avoid as all of a sudden from the floor sprays a stream of acid right towards you. You manage to avoid most of it, but you do take 5 points of acid damage. It luckily just hits you in the shoulder, so.
They go get a half-met white mask.
dun, 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 dun.
All right, are you heading through?
Well, can I see anything from where I'm at?
Trap does not seem to recharge. Looking into the room, just peeking in, are you fully opening the door and looking, or are you just...
Well, I guess, how far was I when this happened?
You had just started to open the door. Basically, there was a concealed hole towards the middle of the door. As soon as the door cleared it, it sprayed up at you. So,
All right.
I'd say you've got about, when you got hit by the acid, you had about a foot-wide gap.
All right. Can I push the door and step back so it opens up and I'm not directly...
Yep, easy enough. You push it open, it kind of freely drifts on its hinges. Looking in... There we go. Okay, so looking into the room, the first thing you notice is it's, again, gray stone, but as it gets closer, you all of a sudden see a pool of red liquid that's drifting out and around. A statue on a plinth. It's spreading out a solid 10 feet away, but then seems to go no further. You hear the trickling of this liquid as it seems to be filling this pool. On top of the plinth is a statue of a very odd creature, almost simian body, long claws extended out from the hands and feet, hunched over with large dragonoid wings. A lot where, like, normally you would expect to see a head, there's instead a long neck that protrudes out to a somewhat human face, with large ears extending from the tips.
And would I have any idea what this is?
Go ahead and roll me... What would this be? Let's go ahead and roll a religion check.
You bring that over here.
Yeah, just want to read. Religion?
Religion check, yep. And that is at disadvantage.
Before.
All right.
That was
So at disadvantage, I got a 16.
Ooh, nice.
But, okay.
Okay. Oh, I mean, not
Okay.
nice.
We'll keep it.
All right, dang it. Gotta play that closer to my chest. So yeah, you're a bard of some renown. You've been around, you've heard stories, and this is a creature or an entity that would have had many stories told about it. This is a statue to Fraz Herblu.
Do you relay this information?
Yes. Well, did you guys follow me in?
That's a good question. Did you follow him in?
Yeah, I mean, I will tell you
Yeah,
as
sure.
soon as I see you, but I also don't want to be like, hey guys! And
So,
if there's
how
anyone.
do acid spells?
That's going to be, it's a fun spelling, F-R-A-Z
Ooh, I got that right.
hyphen U-R-B apostrophe L-U-U. Fraz Herblu.
So I will call him Frez.
Okay. You happen to know this is the demon prince of illusion. A very powerful and deceptive, conniving individual. But yeah, ruler of one of the levels of the abyss. So, as close to a god as demons ever get. And then if I could have everyone make me a perception check.
Disadvantage.
This would still be at disadvantage, yes.
It's called a natural 20.
Yep, you will be at disadvantage until you take a rest.
20.
A long rest. 20 at disadvantage.
You just roll it twice.
Yep, and take the lower.
Yes.
What happened to me?
16.
16, okay. You got a 7?
9.
9. And Hakoon, what'd you get?
Perception, right?
Yep.
Got it. 13.
13. All right. Luckily, Gus manages to just squeak by. You notice, weirdly enough, he's got the statue has these long ears, almost fin-like, extending from the sides of the face. One of them appears to be backwards.
Rotate.
Okay, so you'd like to approach. Are you walking through the pool of blood, or the pool of liquid extending? The pool of red liquid of a non-committal kind.
It tastes like copper.
I will avoid getting my
Okay? The only way to do that would be to attempt to jump to the statue. Okay, go ahead and you're going to roll me. This will actually be an athletics check because you're attempting to jump a distance of 10 feet.
13.
Disadvantage. Any check that I ask you to until you take a sleep. 8. So you managed to jump pretty well, but you kind of like trying to get the distance and make sure you have enough power. You take one too many steps directly into the liquid. Go ahead and.
Can I immediately cast prestidigitation to clean it off? After
You certainly can, but first. You take 8 points of acid damage as the liquid splashes up towards your leg and begins to burn as it soaks into your pants.
I still want to.
Luckily, your buddy Brody there cleans you up,
Oh, Brody.
and the burning subsides. So, making it to the statue, you go ahead and flip the ear around. You suddenly hear a grating noise. Sounds like stone rubbing against stone. The liquid that was in this kind of pool begins to subside and move back as right at the base of the statue, what looks like stone vents open up and the liquid begins to drain down into them instead of filling this room. Behind the statue, which had also been previously covered in this red substance, you see a set of shallow stairs descending down underneath of the back wall to this room.
I think someone with dark vision should proceed,
Yeah, me and
and I'll follow.
Okay.
I'll be number 2.
Sounds good. Heading in there, it is completely pitch black.
Cast produce.
Mhm.
And I just
Okay. So with Ikoria kind of lighting a torch, ostensibly, the room fills with a soft light. It's a dusty, dank little room underneath of this area, and you see there is hanging a bag just up on a hook. Looks just like a large leather sack, and there is a small chest against the back wall.
Check for traps.
that's what I'm
Okay.
Let's all check them because we're all very tired.
Yes.
And we could use our collective brain power.
Okay. So, yeah, each of you guys roll an investigation check.
It's a good idea. I'll roll 2 of them at a time.
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
4?
17.
17? 7? Doesn't appear to be trapped, any of it. So,
Loot it.
I will also say, Brody, with your investigation check, next to or pinned up behind the bag, is a slip of paper.
I would like to read this slip of paper, or look at it and read it if there are words on it.
All right.
I don't. Can I read it without touching it?
No, you'd have to.
Okay.
Check the
I'll
paper for traps.
I'll pull it down.
Okay. Looking at the paper, what you see on there looks like a list. It says 1 cloak, 1 necklace, 1 brooch, 1 cuff.
All right. I assume now we look through the bag and, well, can we just open the chest? Or do
Yeah,
we need
I'm
to...
like real gingerless.
The chest doesn't seem to open. It doesn't seem to be locked. What's that?
Metal?
It's wood. Yep, just a wooden chest.
I'll look in the bag while she's thinking about that.
With your tinkering tools,
Oh,
can you just like
can I?
Of the, chest?
Like, pop the hinges, basically?
Yeah, roll me a tinkering tools check. You are not proficient yet. So it'll be basically just your dex.
At disadvantage.
Yep, at disadvantage.
11.
11? Yeah, easy enough to kind of open up the back hinges on it. They pop open. You still, obviously it's locked at the front, so trying to, pry it open, it's not made for that, but you can kind of wrench it a little bit if you'd like.
I'll hold it to the light so we can see what's inside, even if we can't get it out yet.
Sure, so holding it up, you do just see some glint of metals down inside of it.
All right, does a strong person want to try to force this open? I'm very weak.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a strength check. At disadvantage. 7. Yeah, no, you try, but man, you're tired. And it just does not come open. 1 foot by 1 foot. Maybe 1.5 feet by 1 foot, probably.
Well, it's too late now, but if you grabbed onto the lid section and one of you grabbed onto the bottom section, you both pulled.
Yeah,
well,
certainly can.
I didn't know if her trying it, she couldn't try again.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 1 and a 2. 8 this time.
An 8. Man, this thing does not want to open for you guys.
All right, Aaron and I are going to try it.
Okay, let's go ahead, for brevity's sake, and say, with you guys just trying to force this thing
All 4
open
of us grab onto it.
and pulling it apart, you are finally able to wrench this open. And man, this was pretty crappy, nasty wood. This should not have taken you guys this long. Shame. You feel shame just pervade your body. But inside, you do find just assorted coins. Counting them out, there are 130 gold pieces and 16 platinum pieces.
Ooh. So platinum's pretty easy, 4 apiece, but 130.
130 gold, 16 platinum.
So I will take 32.
Okay, what are you doing next?
Looking through the bag.
Okay, opening the bag, it is completely empty.
Okay. I want to try something.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt. I'll go hilt first because I don't want to poke a hole in it. Put my sword down deep in the bag and see if the whole thing will fit.
Yes, it does.
All right. So it seemed like we've got a bag of holding.
I think it's the turtles.
Thought you were answering me. I'm like, what? There are turtles?
So do you let go of your sword, or are you still just holding it?
Oh, yes, I let go.
Okay, letting go of it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the bag has any more weight, or like there's anything filling it
It's a
anymore.
bag of hold.
Yes, awesome. All right, well.
Not that you guys necessarily know what that is.
Hey, Fritz is excited.
All right, well,
We should hold on to this
All meat.
like that. Gus is the last person.
all right. Well, for now, we can figure it out later. I'll hold on to it because I've already got it.
Just don't give it to Gus.
And I'll
please.
fish my well, because to get something out, I just need to think about it while I'm reaching in, right? I don't need
Yes.
to be like my rapier.
Nope. Yep, you just need to think about it.
So fish it out, put it away, put the bag on.
Okay.
Sweet.
That was awesome.
That makes me happy.
Is there anything else in the
Nope, just that the bag, the chest, and that slip of paper.
All right. So one cloak, one necklace, one brooch.
Can you wait? I don't know how the bag works.
Ooh.
Do I?
Not necessarily, no, and I don't know if he's told you anything about what he's
All
experienced.
right. I'm gonna pick up the note, reach into the bag, and think about one cloak.
All right. All of a sudden, you feel something fill your hand there. Pulling it out, you find a very fine looking cloak of some sort of elvish design, it appears. It has leaf embroidery on it, a nice hood. It seems to be made out of natural neutral tones.
I'll pass around for everyone to look at, and then I'll reach back in and think about
Look like
one necklace.
Yep, you pull out, you feel a chain in your hand as you reach in and retrieve it. It's a fine silver chain attached to a red jewel that is then encased by 2 golden hands holding it.
Well, then I'll do the same with the other 2 things on the list.
All right, the next one that you find is a brooch. It's golden and appears to have some sort of intricate, almost shield design or template on it. And then your last one, the cuff, which is actually kind of a custom item, so I don't have a card for it, appears to be just a simple leather cuff. Inscribed on it are what looks like shackles all around the edges.
Right, so first thing after I pass these around, say, this bag is awesome, you guys. I can just put my hand in and think about something that I put in there, and it comes to me, and it feels like there's nothing in it. It's really cool.
Can you conjure things that you don't like that?
Well, let's find out. I reach in the bag and think about lots of gold pieces.
Okay, nothing.
I don't think so. I think someone has to put it in the bag first.
That would have been so cool.
Ooh, I reach in the bag and think about one of the children from the orphanage.
And you feel a tiny... No, I'm just fucking around. Nope, nothing.
What if you thought about one of those chickens from Tillavir's?
Ooh, I do that.
Think of a Tillavir's chicken.
Tillavir's chicken.
Dang it.
Any cooked chicken. Can I just think
cooked
food?
chicken. No food comes out.
All right.
Generally food. Gross.
All right. So,
What do we want to do?
well, I think we need to figure out what they are, but do we want to...
I'll put on a clip.
Well, I was going to say, do we want to take them back when we're done with this and see what they do? Try to... Well, I just feel like if you put the cloak on, it's like, yeah, it's a cloak that charms you into killing everyone around you.
Yeah, it suck. But
Yeah.
I'm willing to risk it.
For any of these items, you can spend about 15 minutes with them and figure out kind of what they do as you attune or become accustomed to them or you experiment with their magics.
So, do we want to do that right now, or do we want to keep looking around?
You're right. We should probably find the child that was. If anything could happen, we should probably do this.
Okay. Put the
All
cloak
right.
on.
I'll take the rest of the items, put them back in the bag of holding, and just fingers crossed Gus doesn't start attacking us.
Gus, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ah.
All right. No, you know. There are items that will do stuff like that, but this is... So, all right. So, what are you guys doing now?
Want to go back upstairs to the other door? Yep.
Go ahead and roll me, let's call this a perception check. Or investigation, whichever one you prefer, actually. Just Gus.
I imagine that we would all look, though, because...
Okay. All right, go
I
ahead.
don't know, that's what I mean, not that I rolled.
At disadvantage, too.
So should we all roll?
If you like. If you're also following his, looking for other entrances or exits.
Yeah.
Investigation or perception.
Whoa. Yeah, 7.
11? Okay.
9.
9? 6?
7.
I can't wait for the rest.
Nothing you guys see.
Alright. Let's go to the other side.
All right, and be wary that I got sprayed with acid when I opened this door, so I'm guessing there'll be a trap.
I forgot.
So you guys exiting?
Is there a way... Black, do you know where it came from? Can you navigate around it?
Well, there's a small, it's a hidden hole on the door, and when I opened the door, it sprayed. I believe up from near where the handle is.
Okay, so...
Well, I'm just talking about when we go to the other door. There might be one over there.
There is no other door.
Well,
To
upstairs.
exit this room.
No.
Okay,
Just like
gotcha.
once we go upstairs.
Gotcha. All right.
Can we just... Well, the door was on... Or the hole was on the other side of the door?
So it seemed like the hole was actually underneath the door in the floor. And
Okay.
so basically when you, so if there's the floor and there's the door, when you opened it and revealed the floor, or the hole, it sprayed.
Okay. So it's actually in the floor.
Oh, okay. So we can just...
So yeah, I imagine if you could kind of push the door open and back up, or unlatch the door, stand to the side, and then pop it open.
Did we close?
I didn't.
Yeah, no, I would still be open.
All right, so are we going to check the other door then?
What other door?
The one,
Go
the
up
one
and
in the
out.
other room.
Oh, okay.
On the other side.
So as you go walk out of the room, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
It's trying to.
Not at disadvantage, though, right?
Nope, not at disadvantage.
24?
Okay, I will say, since you knew it was there and you had kind of discussed how you would try to avoid it, knowing that it's a possibility, you managed to move completely out of the stream of acid sprays once more.
Like dart.
Yep, and then the rest of you making your way back out into the hallway and heading down to the other door.